Hey everyone, so for sending data to a TaskMagic automation, we are going to use Pabbly as an example of sending a webhook to start your automation. But this is going to be very similar on other platforms, or I guess any platform that's going to involve with sending data to our webhook. So first step in Pabbly is we'll click Create Workflow, and then I'll just title this TaskMagic Test. And then we would set up our trigger and whatever we want for this automation. However, triggering TaskMagic is going to happen in your actions. So I'm going to skip to just my action for now. Here, I don't know what Pabbly has. I think they have a TaskMagic app, or at least they did. I think they have a TaskMagic trigger. We can also do HTTP. What do they have? Is it API? There it is, API. So it might be called HTTP. It might be called API. I guess different platforms are going to call it their own thing, of course. We're going to want to execute an API request. I thought Pabbly had a TaskMagic app. I wonder what happened. Then we can click Connect. We'll want to change this to Post. And then our API endpoint URL is going to be our webhook trigger. So if we go back to the TaskMagic app and we click into our automation, we might have our webhook trigger set up. If we don't, I'm going to do that right now. So we'll click Setup if needed. If you already have a trigger and you want to change to a webhook, you'll click this Change Trigger icon. And then I'll select Webhook. And then this webhook right here is what we're going to add as this endpoint URL. I'll paste that there. The payload type is going to be JSON. And then we don't need any auth. And then we should be able to add data somewhere in here in Pabbly. I would have assumed. There we go, set parameters. Okay, that's what it was. So in Pabbly, we'll click set parameters. This might be called like a body. This might be called data. There's a couple different ways they might word sending this data. However, it's going to be this same type of key value type system here. So I'll do first name and then I'll enter Kyle. And then I'll add another value of, last name, Wilson, and then I will save and send the test request. What this does is this sends this data to our TaskMagic webhook. So if I click check for new events, and then I click here and select option, I will see that data that I sent here. So if I click save trigger here, it'll take us back to our app. And now any typing steps that we have, or a lot of other steps like filter, parse, are now going to have a variable available from that webhook so that we can trigger this automation to run with that dynamic data instead of using the same data every single time.